First, it's not only our health and our economy feeling the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, man's, or indeed woman's best friend, has as well. The new Auckland Animal Management report revealed the extended lockdowns, the isolation and an increase in working from home has meant many dogs haven't been socialised properly. Limitations on desexing has also sparked a boom in the dog population as well. So what does all this mean for us and our poochers? Joining us now is canine behaviourist, interesting job title, Darren Rowe. Thanks for your time, Darren. Let's start by the staggering...
That's a tough one, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. The staggering stats in this report. Aggressive dog behaviour up 21%. Is this kind of what you're seeing in your region?
It is, yeah. That was 1,906 cases. That's a hell of a lot of aggressive cases, isn't it? And I think 92 of those were on people and the rest were on other dogs. So that's a huge amount. I'm definitely seeing, I would have said before COVID, I would have probably said 30% of the people that were contacting me were with aggression or reactivity. Now it's more like sort of 60 or 70.
And can we really blame COVID for this? I mean, we blame COVID on lots of things, but are we just getting a bit shit at being dog owners?
Well, I don't think you can blame COVID for that. I think you can blame the situation. But what's happened is a lot of people, when they got a dog through COVID, or two things have happened really. They got a dog through COVID and didn't socialise it properly with other dogs, but there was an awful lot you could have done for people and things like that, okay? And then also we had people that have had their dogs around them for so long and they didn't allow them to sort of get used to not being there. So we've got all sorts of other anxieties and things that have crept in as well. So, yeah, it's a bad ownership situation, bit of both, I guess.
I know attacks on humans are also up 11.5%. That's also a concerning statistic. But is the main worry and the main problem coming with dog aggression towards other dogs, or is it mainly a concern around humans?
I think there's always a concern when it's about humans, but also given the fact that we were around people a lot more during COVID, or the dogs were around people a lot more, there would have been a lot more reports of potential dog attacks. A lot of dog attacks, particularly on children, tend to happen in the home from their own dog. So that could have been one of the factors that's increased that. But certainly if that dog wasn't socialised, and when we think of socialising, we always think of other dogs, but we should also think about different types of people, different coloured hair, all that kind of stuff. And if they don't see that when they're puppies or when they're younger dogs, then when they go out in the real big world, they get scared, and a scared dog can sometimes behave in an aggressive or reactive way. So
during those lockdowns, we were allowed out. We were allowed out during those lockdowns, though. So and we would, if we had a dog, we'd take the pooch for a walk, and they'd see other dogs. Yeah. Or were we too scared of our dogs getting near COVID and getting near other people that we didn't allow them to have a bit of a sniff? Yeah,
I think that interaction was. Probably people were more sort of reticent to bring their dogs closer to other people. In fact, there was a whole scare, wasn't there, that COVID could be passed from dog to dog on the fur and stuff, so that probably didn't help at that situation. But as with always, a lot of those sort of younger dogs that we got at that age, now they're coming into puberty, around the 1, 2 years old, that kind of thing. And of course, we all know that teenagers go through puberty is a tough time, especially for reactivity and aggression. So that's really what we're seeing. We're seeing a fallout of all the things that haven't been done properly in the first place, through situation, through bad training, through whatever. Now we're seeing a fallout of that now. And of course, we haven't even mentioned the desexing, have we? Because desexing didn't happen very much either. So we've got a lot of dogs going around their entire.
Does that make them randier, does it? Does that mean that they're more likely to be unsocial?
Yeah, it doesn't make them more aggressive. The jury's still out on that one, but what it does do, it may escalate the behaviours, the sexual behaviours or orientated behaviours a bit more. So, it's definitely going to have an effect, shall we say. And it just makes the whole of that sort of handling that dog just a lot more harder for your average person, I guess.
One of my best friends and her husband, actually, she jokingly says she panic bought a dog before the level 4 lockdown. And, I guess it was kind of a panic purchase. She wanted a dog for a long time, but she found that after we came out of those subsequent lockdowns, actually her and her husband leaving the house and going out was an absolute nightmare. And the dog just basically lost it the first time they were away, chewed all the blinds and chewed on the skirting boards and the walls and basically destroyed their house. For someone who's trying to actually get their dog used to that, I guess it's acclimatizing them to, dealing with their separation anxiety. Where do you even start with that?
So if you've got true separation anxiety, and that's where they're destroying the house, they're defecating or urinating everywhere, then please find a trainer that's specialised in separation anxiety, because it's actually a mind issue more than a physical issue. So definitely get some help. But really, it's about separation, but slowly, because if you imagine if you're used to having that person all around all the time and then suddenly you just disappear, that's a massive shift, isn't it? A massive change. So you just do it step by step, a little bit, so a couple of minutes, then maybe 10 minutes, an hour, and so on. But it's also about where do you keep your dog? Keep it somewhere where it can't destroy things. Maybe in the bathroom, even. Always a good one, there's always tiles.
Okay. Just lastly, Darren, to stop people going and panic purchasing dogs and doing it on a whim, do we need to have dog ownership licenses so people who have dogs are actually responsible owners and will train them and look after them?
I think, me personally, anything that makes sure that people look after their animals better is definitely going to be an improvement. But I think the UK's got to be one of those things where you can see that registration doesn't actually work. We had registration in the UK for years and then it's banned. It doesn't actually work. But definitely insisting that when you get a dog from maybe the breeder or the pound or the rescue centre, making sure that you actually go and attend a dog training class so that you get the basics, definitely going to be an advantage.
That would be a good idea.
The other thing is, yeah, I think so. The other thing is there are so many dogs now being given back to rescue centres because they're getting to that age where it's all going wrong and they're just handing back. So all the rescue centres are all full now, completely.
Full of ageing dogs or just untrained, unruly dogs?
No, the dogs that were COVID dogs are now getting to the point where they're over the top with aggression and reactivity and all that kind of stuff, and people can't look after them. So
see, that's appalling. That's a sad, sorry state of affairs, isn't it? We've got to leave.
In America.
We've got to leave it there. Sorry, Darren. But thank you very much for coming on the show. That is canine behaviourist Darren Rowe. Now, I'd love your thoughts on this. Have you noticed